Hello everyone, I am Priyanka on behalf of Paper Rose Studio, and in this video we are going to make these two special cards. So these ones are the slider cards, so they are made a little bit differently. So I'm going to show you how to make this. So there's a special message written on the tab which is hidden. You just pull this tab and you receive a message at the back as well as a hidden thing inside. You can add a picture or a message or whatever you like. So that's how it closes down, and then on the inside I've just placed a mat to write your message. The other one is a little bit different. As you can see here, there is a border all around the middle part here. So this one is made with a little bit extra cardstock, and here I have stamped a message. There's a plain space at the top. I have put pattern paper. You can decorate it as well or just keep it plain for some hidden thingy. And so the arrangements here of the decoration are a little bit different, and then I've added a sentiment. And then on the inside, this is like so. Now this card is a little bit bulky, not that much, but if you don't mind that, then you can choose this style. I like this one more personally because it has a beautiful border around and on the middle frame, and it just adds so much beauty to this card. Okay, so it's your personal preference. Let me walk you through how to make these two beautiful cards. For making these cards, I'll be using Strawberry Friends from Paper Rose Studio and embossed die cuts from Strawberry Friends collection. So these card measures 5 by 7. So for my first card, I'm taking a black cardstock here. This measures 7 inches by 10 inches. And then I will be scoring in the center at 10 inches. That is 5 inches. So that will be our base card. Now you can change the measurements according to the sizes that you prefer. This can also be easily made into a 6 by 6 or a 4 by 6. The next is my mat here. I'm using the white cardstock. This one measures 434 by 634. And this is going to go flat on here. Let's do that quickly. For doing the stamping, I have also cut out a cardstock. This measures 3.5 by 534, and I have rounded the two corners from the top. Then I am going to make a hole in the center for us to put a ribbon so that we can pull it through. Now if you want, you can make it stronger by putting an eyelet. So let me do it. I'm just using my golden eyelet here. It looks really good with this pattern paper. There we get a beautiful piece. Now the next thing is I'm going to ink the edges a little bit. Just gives a really good effect. If you want, you can use black, brown, or even red in this case if you're using the same pattern paper. Now, the next thing is we will need a pattern paper that measures 4.5 by 6.5. So I have chosen this red one so that it really pops out. And next we are going to do some cutting. So we need to make a frame of 3/4 inch on all the 4 sides, but we are going to cut out only 3 sides. So I'm going to put my ruler on 3/4 inch, and then from top 1, 2, 3, 3/4 inch I'm going to go down and cut it directly and stop at 3/4 inch from the bottom as well. There we have a slit. Now from the top I'm not going to cut. Again I'm going to do the same side thing on the opposite side, that is the longer side. So again 3/4 inch from bottom, cut and stop at 3/4 inch from top. Okay, and then from the bottom again I'm going to put my ruler at 3/4 inch and then just meet these two lines where we've already cut. So we get a piece like this. Okay, so see, this was so much easier to do on the craft mat. The next thing is, now here I can use this tool for scoring. Now we are going to get some scoring marks only on this inner piece here. So first I'm going to make the score part from this line till this line, which we have already cut. So keep your thing on 3/4 inch, just like this. And then I'm going to get my scoring tool, and from here till this mark line, I'm going to get my scoring line. Okay, so there we get our scoring line, 3/4 inch. Now you keep it like this, and where this open part is there, okay, and then you keep your whole thing, this whole pattern paper at 1/4 inch. Just like this, and then again we are going to score only on the middle part from here till here. So there we get a 1/2 inch tab so that we can stick our pull out mat. The next score line will go at 3/4 inch. So I'm going to put my whole thing, this whole pattern paper at 3/4, and then again on the inner part I'm going to score just like that. So there we get 3 score lines. Now let's fold. Now for folding, first you're going to do a valley fold here on the 1/2 inch tab. Then you're going to do a mountain fold here, and then I'm going to burnish like this, and then again valley fold like that. So there we get a tab like so. Okay, After this, when I will put my whole this thing over here in the middle, I'm going to put my this piece over here, and then from this part at least I'll leave 1 inch mark, and then I will know from this part onwards I need to stamp, so that our stamp part is very beautifully visible like this. Initially I stamped very low, so that's why I had to hide it with a piece of paper, because the stamp part was not very visible. So that's why I used the white cardstock, so that the stamp message is quite easily visible. So here I've done my stamping. So happy birthday and on your special day on this and this one. Okay. And then the next part is we are going to put tape here on this half-inch tab. The next thing is I'm going to put my half-inch tape here on the sides, but only on 3 sides. 1, 2, and then 3. Now we will burnish. Let's remove this tape backing from this half-inch hinge, and we will stick this piece like so. Turn it around. Make sure that you are putting it in the center, just like that. Now I think my tape is getting a little bit on this, so I'm going to trim this part a little bit off. Yeah, now it's perfect. There we go. Okay, now I will just punch a hole here so that this is visible from where to pull what. Okay, so here, just over here. If you have a circle punch, use that. If you don't, then you can just cut out a small rectangle part from here. Okay, and then I can just put a ribbon through my hole. Now let us remove this tape backing here, and I'm going to stick that down on my card base. So that's our card base. Very carefully making sure that I'm keeping good enough borders on all my 3 sides. There we have it. Yeah, now you pull this up, and there we get a beautiful sentiment down there and up there. Right, now let's do the other card, and then we'll decorate them both together. Let's make the other card base. For my other card base, you will put a cardstock that measures 10.5 by 7.5, and then again we're going to score at 5 inches and then 10 inches. And then on the 7.5-inch side, I will score at 7 inches. After this, we are going to cut off this piece in a triangular shape, just like that, where they intersect. And then I'm going to make a taper from here, and then I'm going to cut off this whole line. The next part is we will need another piece of cardstock. This measures 5.5 by 7, and I will score at 5 inches. Then I will taper from this part and this part. This will become our hinge to stick at the base of our card, which we just made, so that we have a proper card. Now this will go at the back of this booklet here. So you can either do it right now or you can do it later. The next thing, again, we will make our 3/4 inch frame on this part where we have these 2 hinges. So from this score line, I will put my ruler on the 3/4 inch mark, and again from top 3, let's just leave 3/4 inch, and then you go down till the bottom and again leave 3/4 inch, just like that. And then from here as well, we will do the same thing on this side. And then again from the bottom, we will cut out 3/4 inch. Right, now for the scoring again, let me do 3/4 inch from this side first. There we get a score line, just like that. And now it's much easier to score. So I think I will score it like that. Then from here I will just do it 1/2 inch, and then it will be 3 inches. Then again, you just fold on your scored lines, and then you have this mechanism. Now, if you want, you can put a pattern paper at the back, or you can put a white cardstock. So I have cut a pattern paper. This is a pink watercolor effect pattern paper, this one. And I'm going to stick it here at the bottom. So this one goes just in the center. So for this card, I'm not stamping here. I'm just putting pattern papers so that the recipient can, put a message or a picture or even leave it plain. So it is a little bit different from the other card which we did. Okay, that like that. And then we are going to close it shut. So that's why we have a bit of a bulk. Now let us make the pull out piece for this card. So here I'm using a black cardstock. This one measures 3/3/4 by 6/1/4. And then again I have just rounded off the corners on two sides. And that's my mat. This is 6 inches by 3.5. Just like that. And then again I will do the hole and put my eyelet and pass my ribbon through it. So this one is all about pattern paper. I'm not stamping or stenciling or doing anything else. This is just showcasing the pattern paper. Okay, then again from this part you can just put your glue, or else you just put your tape. Yeah, now we will do our matting for the card. So for making the perfect frame, what you will do is cut out a pattern paper 1/8 inch less than this one. So this is 5/7, so I have cut out the pattern to be 5/7/8 by 6/7/8. And then we will make a frame of 5/8 inch. Since this is 3/4 inch, and then I'm going to make a frame of 5/8 inch. That's how we're going to get a perfect frame with a border. So I will leave 5/8 inch, 1 2 3 4 5, and stop at 5/8 inch from the bottom. 1 2 3 4 5, like that. Then again 5/8 inch. That's how we are going to do on all the four sides. Now put it down and let's check. See, we've got a beautiful border on all my four sides. Once you have stuck your frame, now I'm going to punch my hole so that we know where to pull the pull out from. Just like that. So this is not a little bit in the center, so I'm going to cut out a little bit more, like so. If you think that it's too bulky, you don't want that much, so you don't need to put the extra 5.5 by 7 piece, and you just put your card mat for the message at the back. So here can be the message at the back, and you can save some cardstock in this manner, and also some bulk. And for this card at the back, I have cut out this mat. So this is 1/4 inch less, 6/3/4 by 5, 4/3/4. So this will go at the back like so. Right now, for this matting, either you can use the leftover from this one, this piece which cut out from the side between, so you can use to mat this, or from the back side. But I thought it's just looking too much reddish, so I just cut these pieces out. So this one is this piece here. So these are 2/3/8 by 3/3/8, and I have cut out two pieces. And for the small strip in the bottom, that's going to be 3/8 inch by 3/3/8. So that is our matting for this piece. Okay, so this one is filled with pattern paper. This one here is stamping. Now let's decorate these cards. Let me do this card first. So for this card, what I have done here is I have cut out this fence. Okay, so what you will do is cut out a piece that measures 4.5 from here, this part, 4.5, cut it out. Then what you will do is separate the fence from the flower cluster like that. So what I did was I started from the flower, then I cut it out till the leaves, then cut out the whole pattern, and then I made this line a bit straight. Okay, so this part is going to be hidden, so it doesn't matter so much. So I have got this part. Okay, so now I'm going to use this part over here. But in order to for this mechanism to work properly, we are going to put foam tape so that it doesn't hinder with our mechanism. Like so, right? And then I'm going to stick this part down like so, and then layer the other foam tape on top of this so that we have double layer of foam tape. Now I can stick it like that so that this doesn't hinder anywhere and this is easily pullable. So let me remove this tape packing, and then I'm going to line this up with my red polka dot pattern paper and then stick it down. Now if you see, this is going a little bit down from here, so I'm going to put 2 more pieces of small foam tape to adjust the balance of on both the sides. So here again I'm using 2 pieces, layering it on top of each other. Now see, it's not going anywhere. We have a good balance on both the sides, and this will also work perfectly fine, right? Now the next thing I have selected here is this one. This is a tag from the tag sheet where there are elements. So I'm going to insert this over here. But for that, what we will do is put it in a open position, and then we will layer our tag like that. Because if we go a little bit down, then this won't work. So it has to be in a tilted shape, just like this, but it doesn't have to go just right down to the bottom. Otherwise, when it's in open position, the whole arrangement will not look that good. So I'm going to put it in a tilted shape, just like this, making sure that this part is not obstructing with this. Okay, so again, I'll be using a foam tape. This will look dimensional in this manner. So here I'm putting my foam tape. I'm trying to make this almost inside the card. Yeah, see? Okay, so now I'm going to put my foam tape here. The next thing is this flower, what do you call it? Flower container with this watering can here. I'm going to stick this piece over here, and then this piece can go just on the middle of these two, like so. Okay, just like this. I'm going to stick this a bit inside like so. And then this bear will go with one more layer, and then I'm going to stick this cute little bow on the tag. So this will just complete the whole look. See, so either the bear can go behind this flower thingy or it can go on top as well. So there we have, our card is complete. If you want, you can add some leaves here and there or the sentiment. So I cut this bouquet out for the strawberry in the other card. Here the strawberry. So I'm going to cut out some leaves and then I can stick it at the back. So there we go, this one and this one. So I've made a replica of this on the like a mirror image. I love them. And then I've used some enamel dots, black color. So I'll try to do that the same thing on this one. The black just adds a little bit more to the card. So I hope you like this one. Now let's do the second one. For the second card, if you see on this arrangement, I've used the other part of the fence. So maybe again, I'm going to use this. And then I've used a banner die that I had in my stash. And this one again, another banner die. So you can either do the same thing here, or you can just do a little bit different that I'm doing on this card here. I'm going to keep it on the side so that you can have some inspiration from this one as well. Now for this one, I thought let's use this. This is one of the strips from the sheets where we have these tags. So if you see this one, from here I cut the tag that we used on the other card. So I'm using this border from here. And then again, I have just cut it to 5 inches and I'm going to stick this down. But again, we will use the foam tape here. So we will put one tape layer, one foam tape layer at the bottom. I'm not going to stick on the top because at the back of this piece here, we are going to put our flower bouquets. So I have cut down a one full flower bouquet into two pieces just like this to get a beautiful arrangement just like so. Like that. And the other half just like that. Okay, and then I'm going to remove this and I'm going to stick it down. Okay, like that. And then I have done another foam tape on this sentiment. Thank you so much. Like so. Then I have also cut out the pink parts at the back of this fence from the putting it on my cutting mat and craft knife. I have cut out these spaces to give it a more natural look, and then I have also cut out the everything pink part is cut down. Okay, then this part is going to go down like so, but we're going to again put the foam tape, but only in the part in the center, not on the sides. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to put the tape in the center part only where this fence is, just like that. When I stick this, I'm going to pull it up a little bit so that I don't go too much down. I don't stick it at the wrong places. Oh, okay. Before that, I have to also do one more thing. You have to stick this mouse right side, and then I have cut off a little bit from here. So we are just putting the foam tape on this part. Okay, like that. I'm putting it lightly so that even if I have to move this out, I can just rip it off and I put it again down like so. See? Okay, I think it looks perfect. And then I'm going to stick these two mushrooms here. One over here and the other one over here. Or if you think this is good enough for you, you can just leave it down. And then I was thinking to put the banner like so. Okay, so when we are putting it down, we have to make sure that we are putting it on the fence. Otherwise, it will be a bit of a problem. Also, I might need to take this part off from the foam tape. Otherwise, it's going to get stuck on the card. I don't want that. So while we're decorating these kind of pop-up designs, we have to make sure that the mechanism is not hindered while we're decorating. If that happens, then the whole effort is gone to waste. See, so I've not gone beyond this point, and my foam tape is also not coming outside. So make sure you are taking care of these things. Again, on this side, I'm going to do the same thing. Now, this thing is all complete, but when you open this, you will see that there are some cut marks that are visible from the bottom, and I don't like this, so I'm going to fix this up. So I have cut out this flower, and then I'm going to stick this down. So when it's in the open position, all this thing is intact. So there we have in an open position, looks pretty. Here is something that's hidden that can be go inside, and then when we make it in a closed position, there we have this whole setup. So this is it for this card. I have cut the strawberry from one of these embossed die cut bouquet from here, and these two flowers I fussy cut out from the sheet where there was flower pattern sheet. I fussy cut these out and put it on the sides, and even this strawberry was from the pattern paper only. I cut it out and put it. Since this house was only one of those in the embossed die cuts, so I have just stick this one with one layer of foam tape, and this fence here is stuck with two layers of foam tape. And again, these two bunnies are layered with one layer of foam tape on top of the fence. So there are different things that you can do with these cards. I hope you like these cards and you will give it a try. You can use any pattern papers that you have in your stash, or even make them for birthdays, for thank yous, or hellos. I'll get this soon also as well. So this is it from my side. I'm Priyanka on behalf of Paper Rose Studio. I hope you had fun making these pop-up slider cards with me, and I will be back with the new tutorial very soon. Thank you so much for watching, and all the supply links will be listed down below. If you want to purchase any of those, just go ahead on those links or explore their websites, www.paperrosestudio.com. Till then, happy crafting. See you next time. Bye.